Hey, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Road Sodas. Nate doesn't like when I say I'm in the studio, so I won't. Nate's at his house. Chris is in his wife's office, and we're back, I guess.
Study. I'm in the study.
Oh, you're in the study.
Yeah, and I'm in a den, so...
Oh, I'm sorry.
Come on.
I need you guys to change your names to your locations, because it looks like so it can look like a clue board. Chris with the bottle in the study.
Most likely.
All right, this intro is derailing. How's everybody doing?
Is everybody still alive and well?
Good. Ed, what have you been up to? Or do we need to talk about our drinks? You guys should talk about your drinks.
Whoa. First time ever. We talked about the drinks at the beginning of the show, Nate. That's it.
Yeah, just get it right out of the way.
All right.
I guess I'll go first. I am drinking Pliny the Elder. Have you guys ever heard of it?
No.
I wish everybody could see my face.
Wait. Hold on. I'm drinking a blind pig.
Oh, Chris thinks Blind Pig is better.
What beer style is Blind Pig? Is that just a pale too? Or is that a pale?
No.
I should say.
I don't think it's a double, is it? No, it's 625.
Okay, it's just a single IPA. All right, cool.
Yeah.
Well, and how'd you get up to Russian River, Ed? How'd that happen?
I drove.
Okay, no magic carpet. Good.
No. Basically, our in-laws had points coming out of their ears for their condos. So they were just basically giving condo weeks away to all their family. And we originally were supposed to go to Hawaii. That got canceled, I think, in like March, April, May, that time frame where everything was like closed and like hotels were closed and basically everything was shut down. We were able to change it to July. And then we just hoped that it would stick around and stay open. And it did. So we drove through San Diego, obviously up through LA, which is a terrible drive. And then went to Windsor, which is where the brewery is, I guess. It's not the original location. The original location's in Santa Rosa. I didn't go there, but it couldn't be more than 20 minutes from Windsor. But the facility's huge for Russian River.
I remember when they were building it, and he would make posts about going to Germany to pick out his tanks or to like look at the tanks being built.
Oh yeah, they have these huge windows where you can see the tanks when you pull into the parking lot. And it wasn't open for like tours or anything. It wasn't even open to go inside. Like they had a handful of tents and tables set up outside. It wasn't even, I would say 20 people max were allowed to sit down. Plus you had to order food. So you ordered food and then went to the gift shop and you could buy beer. And if you told them you ordered food, then they would open your beer for you and you could drink it there.
If anybody saw our Instagram, your Instagram actually, right? Because you posted a picture of you drinking some Pliny for President.
Pliny for President was amazing.
So jealous. Didn't get any of that.
So I was telling Chris this the other day so I bought a 4-pack to drink while we were sitting there eating Pliny fries, by the way, which are amazing. Cheese fries with bacon and jalapenos.
Nate's face. I was like, wait. So is it just like, hold on. Is it fries with beer cheese and then hops on top of it, like sprinkled lightly? Like oregano?
No.
I thought you were serious for a second. I was like, there's hops. They sprinkle hops on top of it.
Wait, I don't know. Ed, was there hops on it?
No. There was jalapenos, though. So there was something green on it.
No.
We'll get on top of the other thing, Chris. We can develop that.
So
we can take care of that.
I bought a 4-pack, drank 2 of them there, took the other 2 back to the room, drank those then, and then we went back again, and I bought another 4-pack and drank 2 more, and then drank the other 2, like immediately returning to the room. So yeah, they wouldn't have survived the trip home. They got drank immediately. That is a really good beer, though.
I saw the picture, and I didn't realize it was a separate beer. I actually just thought it was just Pliny, a different
just a rebranded Pliny.
Yeah, it just kind of was like a gimmicky thing for, the elections coming up or whatever. And then you told me that, and I was like, wait, there was a different beer.
Yeah.
So I was actually kind of upset.
It's basically Pliny double dry hopped.
So it's funny. We talked about this a little bit, Ed, but like, it's been so long since I really had a West Coast IPA that it is weird to drink it now.
Dude, I agree. I had Ren's West Coast that they just dropped earlier this week or this past week.
Yeah.
It was so good.
It's so weird to be like, oh, this West Coast thing is pretty tasty.
Dude, I'm back. I am back on West Coast. I had that. I was like, yep, I'm just going to drink
circle.
It took me a couple places to realize it. I was like, oh, I'm in California. That's why there's West Coast IPAs on the menu. Not used to seeing this.
Everything just tastes really piney and resiny. This is so weird.
Yeah, it's like what is this resiny
I just
pop burn?
salivated when you said that.
It's crazy to drink one and then drink the other one, and I'm just like, yeah, these are actually really good. I remember why I started drinking IPAs forever ago.
Mm-hmm.
That's right.
But if it makes you feel better, Nate, the Blind Pig, I had to walk with it for a mile from Russian River to the condo.
I really don't, you'd be surprised, but my dad would bring a case of Pliny back. He'd just sit in the back seat. I mean, it didn't affect it in a week, I felt like. So, but no, I hear you. I feel that need to try and keep them cold, so I respect that.
But yeah, we were literally exactly a mile away from Russian River.
I had to walk.
Yeah. Well, my wife made we walk. She's like, we're going to walk because you need exercise and it's not 1,000 degrees outside.
I think you've inspired me. We're probably going to do the same thing here in a month or two. Drive to San Francisco.
It's fun because you have to look for alternative stuff to do. You just can't stop at like a restaurant and distract yourself for a couple hours. You have to think a little outside the box. Like, where can we go? What can we do that's not going to be around people? Or do we pick stuff up and go to the park? The cool thing, though, about especially in like San Diego, of course, it's like 76 degrees there in the middle of the day right now. A lot of the places, I keep thinking Mike Hess again because I told Chris this story. Carl Strauss.
Firestone Walker.
No, Carl Strauss. Like they had the street blocked off, like the actual road, and they had seats in the middle of the road.
Crazy.
So they had like spaced out seating outside. Same thing with the little Italian spot in San Diego. Like all the streets were like blocked off by the city so they could put out chairs and tables and space them out. So I thought that was cool. We can't do that here because you would die sitting outside right now.
Oh yeah,
you'd melt.
We can't
at this point, I know you're drinking both of these beers now, and I have both now too. So Blind Pig or Pliny the Elder, or Pliny, right? Like people always go, Blind Pig's way better than Pliny.
It's always people not drinking Pliny too. Like Blind Pig's better. Oh, yes. I can see why people like Blind Pig more if that's just your preference, but I still think Pliny is a better made beer. There's more body to it. There's more flavor. It lasts longer. But Blind Pig is really smooth and clean. So if you don't like that heavy West Coast kind of style of that resin and that pininess, then I can understand why you don't like Pliny or why you prefer Blind Pig. I wouldn't say not like Pliny.
I guess it's splitting hairs at that point. I actually enjoyed both of them. Pliny was definitely like, hello, friend. This is nice to have you again. Yeah. And then Blind Pig, definitely haven't had a Blind Pig ever, I don't think. So this was actually a new treat for me. So thoroughly enjoyed it. Was happy that.
I think Blind Pig holds up longer, so that could be part of the argument. Like people who drink old Pliny are like, this isn't really that great. Like I don't understand the hype, but a fresh Pliny is a different beer.
Oh yeah.
And it says it all over the label, like do not age this beer, keep it cold, drink it fresh. So
it's like people that save Las Frescas for weeks on end. It's like, what the hell are you doing?
Or people who are shipping them now for trades, and it's like, are you fucking serious?
I always cringe when I see some old Las Frescas pop on someone's Instagram, and I'm like, ugh.
Yeah, that can't be good. Not at all.
I'm sure they're telling them it's amazing. Sorry, go ahead.
So speaking of not a good beer, the other day I picked up a beer. It was the Untitled Art, the Bomb Pop, like the ice cream with the red and the white and the blue.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And it was like it's supposed to be a go, so it's supposed to be sour, but it was not sour, and it tasted like cough syrup to me. But it was bright blue. It was clear as day, and it was bright blue. So it was cool looking.
Really?
And that's what that got me. It really got me because of that. Because I thought people posting, and I was like, "Ooh, that's interesting. I like sours. Let's try it out." Not good. It was all it tasted like cough syrup.
Dude, if it was me, I'd be like, nothing that color ever tastes bad. I'm like, well, this is worth a shot.
Dude, blue Kool-Aid's delicious. I mean, that's literally then. Blue raspberry. Done. Nope.
Blue Gatorade's good.
Gross. I was so mad. I was so sad that it was not good at all.
Are you being attacked by robots, Nate?
I'm sorry. Did you hear that?
Yeah.
My bad. I'm sorry.
All I heard was I was like, uh-oh.
My bad.
The invasion has started.
No, my bad. Sorry, guys.
Although eating fresh seafood by the seashore, is that like a thing?
Yeah, I was
going to say selling seashells by the seashore. I know I didn't say that right. Yeah, I also went to, I think it's Half Moon Bays, the beach. And then we went to Half Moon Brewing. Had some fresh oysters, clams, and French fries.
I think I saw those photos, and I was like, fuck this guy.
And it was freezing.
Yeah,
it was like 56 degrees.
I showed my wife, and her exact words were, "Fuck that guy."
Really?
And then she was like, "No, don't tell him that. Tell him."
But seriously,
I hate him. But don't tell him that either. Like,
fuck that guy. I'm glad me and Becky get along so well.
Yeah, I'll say this, talking about the seashore. Have you guys noticed a lot more salt and lime lager type beers? Because I got a 24 pack of Stone from Costco the other day, right? And it had their new version of salt and lime Mexican lager. But I've seen like a bunch lately for some odd reason from like different companies. It just seems like, I don't know, so it's summertime and everybody's like, let's put a bunch out.
Or they're masking bad beer.
Yeah, it wasn't very good. The Stone one wasn't good at all. This has got to be real cold, and I definitely want to add more salt and more lime to this beer.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. I had a salted one. I can't remember where it was from, but it tasted like it had a full shaker of salt in it. It was disgusting. Like, it tasted like seawater. It was so salty.
Gross.
Yeah, it was bad. So I wonder if it's just bad beer, and they're like, fuck it, let's just throw some salt and lime and make it taste like a shitty Corona. So
you'd like to think not.
You'd like to hope
my
not.
thought was
but...
maybe people still want that style of beer, but they don't want to buy a Corona since that's so. Oh no, the coronavirus. So whatever. People being
yeah, I gotta
trying to corner that market.
I gotta buy cheap beer and a lime and salt. That's just too much work.
True. I want to buy a more expensive beer and not put either of those things in it, but I have to taste like it still.
Speaking of which, speaking of Stone, actually, have you? Are you scared, Chris? Have you thought about changing your son's name in fear of being sued by them?
Yeah, I know, right?
Isn't that a funny turn of events?
Yeah, well,
details.
Funny,
oh, you don't know about this, Nate?
Nope.
Well, you remember the whole course the Keystone thing, right? Where
yes.
Well, now it's kind of like reversed. It seems that Stone is suing everybody that tries to use Stone in any part of any kind of name or marketing or any kind of branding that involves Stone, because they have, I believe they had Stone trademark. So they're suing a place called, is it Sawstone? Is that the name of the brewery?
Sawstone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They sent them, I don't know if they sent them a cease and desist.
No, it wasn't a cease and desist. It's a thing right before cease and desist. It's not an official thing. But Greg Cook actually put up a whole thing on Stone's webpage about it. They basically said that their lawyers sent out stuff early mid-June, somewhere around there. And then their lawyers kept basically going back and forth being like, oh, we'll get back to you with a settlement, and then we'll do this, and we'll go back. And they just never responded. And then they finally reached out to him over this last weekend or whatever. And they're like, we'll get to you by next week. And then that's when people started sending Stone employees death threats. So people that were from Kentucky, right, were upset about this happening. And they started spreading the personal information of Stone employees across the internet. And people were literally messaging people and calling them at 3 or 4 in the morning and basically making threats to them about they're going to physically hurt them. And then Stonecutters actually put out a thing basically saying, hey, listen, we understand this, blah, 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 but we don't condone putting out, violence towards other people. That's not cool to basically their followers. But
dude, fuck Stone.
Well, listen, and so we talked about this before in the past, right? And we talked about it about Weedy and stuff. They have to send out things to defend their trademark. That's just how it works now. They have a trademark. They have to defend it.
Well, that's how it's always worked. You have to defend it or you lose it.
They're going to lose it.
You have to protect it or it's gone.
Just because they're sending all these things out doesn't mean they're going to do anything. They have to show that they're actively trying to defend their trademark. And that's it.
Yeah.
Right? And the sad thing with all this is really Stone is such a big company now that when they were smaller, if it was just Craig and an owner, they could just talk. They could just talk it over and be like, hey, this is what's going to be. Don't worry about it. It'll be fine. But they can't do that now because now Stone's huge and they have lawyers and that's how it works.
Yeah, but then you do that and then you end up in the Fate situation with the whole Fate fiasco. Right. I just think it's funny how Stone's now the big guy. People are saying Stone's bullying people. Somebody posted a printout of all the... They said lawsuits, but they're not lawsuits. Like you said, it's that warning phase of hey, we have trademarks on this for your information before you move forward. Right. And we then have to tell you, no, you wasted all that money because you can't use it.
Right. It was 30. I was 39 or something. I think it's what the number I saw. Don't quote me on that, but I swear it was around 39.
Oh, no, we're quoting you and we're going to send it to Stone and then they're going to sue you for libel.
Yeah.
This is all opinion. Don't worry, Ed.
Yeah, that's just crazy. It makes me not want to drink Stone beer either way. I mean, I guess if that's how the laws work, they got to defend it, but still, I find it to be in poor taste.
Yeah, but I mean, what else do you want them to do? I mean, that's not really, they just not defend their trademark, and then they lose it, and then they basically can get sued by somebody like Keystone,
and then Keystone comes in and swipes it and takes it from
right.
them.
I mean, really, I'll find the Keystone's fine because Keystone's a major, huge brewery. Fine, but the Softstone Brewery.
No. Well, what we're saying, what we're saying is if Stone doesn't show that they're protecting their trademark, then Keystone can basically come back and say they're not protecting it, so they don't need to keep it, and then they can basically keep their stuff, right?
Okay. That's the problem with it. People vilify people for protecting their property, but it literally states that you have to do that. Well, yeah, we've trademarked Hoppy Craftsmen. If we didn't send information to people who used it, we would lose the trademark on it because then their argument would be like, well, they didn't defend it, so obviously it's basically public use now.
No, I'm with you. I'm with you now. I guess that's fine. As long as they can send a cease and desist or something that the brewery can ignore and it still satisfies their needs for reporting it, I guess, is more or less.
It's just very big business when you send lawyers after people in any capacity. Right. Then it's instantly a David and Goliath thing. Like, oh, look at Stone. They can afford fancy lawyers.
So, yeah, but they're not even. And it's funny, like Stone is the big guy compared to Stonecutter or whatever. But you look at Stone compared to like Sam Adams, they're not anything at that point. So
no, for sure.
Hey Nate, did you snag your GABF passport?
Oh no, I did not. No, I did not. Is that are they doing it online this year?
They are, dude, and it's actually got pushed back. So it was like supposed to be September, and now it's like October. Now it's going to be like the whole month of October, I think. So it's going to be a few days where they're doing like the judging, and then the rest of the time is basically like you get to like virtually visit or tour different breweries, like 400 different breweries across the U.S.
Really?
Yeah, dude. I'll say this though: the price list for tickets is actually it's $49.
If it's more than $5, that's way too much. If it's more than $5, fuck off.
You basically get the passport and you get a T-shirt for $49.
So that's a deal.
You get a T-shirt.
Yeah. So basically, it's like $20-some then. The T-shirt price.
Man, that sucks. They had to cancel it, and now they have to do it online. Though that sucks.
But I wonder, like, if you're actually be able to watch the beer judging virtually, like that'd be an interesting part.
That'd be cool. No,
like to see people just be like, yeah, drink and then spit into a cup. Like I want to see that happening.
I want to see some real people like, oh, this is shit. Oh fuck.
We need to keep an eye on like hashtag GABF fails or something. Like I just want to see like some breweries just fail at some kind of virtual tour thing. Like somebody falls, somebody opens it up and it just sprays everywhere, like that Goldwater video they posted. Like something like that just happening. I just want to see that, dude. It's so cool.
Watching beer judging has to be like the equivalent of watching like the second or third round of professional draft. Like you have to be a fucking ultra nerd to be like, oh, I can't wait to see the tasting notes on this fucking amber ale.
But I just want like let me some certain like categories of where they're doing like a Czech Pilsner or something.
Yeah.
Somebody but I want they need to get some old British man that's a very cool voice that just talks softly over top of the tasting notes, but he treats it like it's a professional soccer match.
Do you want that or like a Gordon Ramsay type, or maybe like a combo of those two? Yeah,
he's got to have one American guy that's really like talking about all how difficult and expertise and the very hypeness of it, and then you get the British guy who's very calm and quiet and very contained. Compared, you have two different announcers doing it at the same time. That'd be nice.
Maybe like Michael Caine.
Ooh, okay.
So you mentioned GABF. Are you sad there's no Real Wild and Woody? Because that would have been relatively close to this recording, not to date ourselves.
Yes, it would have, because I just got both my anniversary photos of like when I took my daughter to the first one that me and Chris went to. So it was like
you did.
It was July 28th.
Yeah, it's usually the last weekend in July, right?
Yeah.
Are you sad there was no virtual Real Wild and Woody?
How did hasn't Arizona already done a virtual beer thing?
Yes, that was for.
Did either of you attend that?
No, God no.
Oh, we're really good really good craft beer people.
No, like
Listen, I attended my own beer festival. I didn't have to pay for it.
Listen,
I went to my fridge and just drank my own beer. I made a couple phone calls. It was pretty
I got
crazy.
hammered. I got hammered drunk in my kitchen. I went to my own fucking beer festival.
I got hammered in my kitchen, and then the bouncer, aka my wife, made me go to bed.
She said, "Give it a rest." Kicked you out.
Dude, rest, guys.
well, I think it's kind of like this whole Zoom thing like we're doing. Like I don't think this show works as well on Zoom because it's better when we're in person and together, and Nate and I can feed off each other and glare at each other, and Chris just laughs at us. But
meat mug both of you.
yeah, but I mean, it's and same thing with like any kind of beer related thing. Like you want to be in the atmosphere, and I just don't think you get that with staring.
When
at
we're
the
doing a
computer screen.
podcast at like when we're doing a podcast during like happy hour at the Wandering Tortoise, like or what the hell, the Whale. I mean, that shit's fun.
Well, being at like Dark Skies,
A lot
hanging out with
better,
everybody for an anniversary, and then like afterwards in the morning, like hanging out with those guys in BS, and like that's a great time. Yeah, it's just you definitely lose something, right? You lose something when there's not the community and people, and the social aspect is kind of gone virtually, really.
And they were doing like a lot of
okay,
tours and stuff. I know like something else is coming up where they're doing like virtual tours. If you've been on a tour of a brewing facility, they're all pretty much the same. It's just like scale and layout, and they're almost not really fun other than the personal aspect of engaging with like the people who actually run it. So just watching it on like Zoom or something like that sounds fucking boring to me.
Yeah. Like here's the deal. Like, okay, so if you've never been on a beer tour at a place, go to one, try it out, do whatever. My rule now is if we go to a place at a beer tour, unless it's free or I pay a small fee and I get a free beer at the end, then I'll go. Other than that, it's not worth it. Like I've said, you've seen one, you kind of seen all of them. It's not like, ooh, these are different tanks than so-and-so has. You're like, yeah, they're tanks.
These ones
they're
are
bigger.
shinier.
So, I mean, it's cool, and it's definitely something you want to do to check out and just see the scale of some of these places. Like, Stones was awesome. That's one of my first one I ever went to was Stones in Escondido. It was awesome.
Yeah.
They're huge. Tanks are huge. And you're just like, this is insane looking around in that place.
Well, like even
like then I went to then we went to Green Flash, and Green Flash was fun because the guy was hilarious that we were with, but like it didn't even show us anything that was different.
Going to Russian River, like walking by the big window, you could see the bottle line running Pliny from walking towards the brewery, and I was like, oh, that's cool. Dude, I don't really need a tour after seeing that. Like, that's cool. That's all I needed to see.
What they need to do is like the Krispy Kreme thing when the light comes on and then you get a free beer from the line.
Like that happened to be right there when the light goes off.
Definitely. Yeah, fresh beer, come in. You just get like you're like, excellent. You drink it, eat a little donut with it. I'm in.
Or unless you go to a place like you guys did in Superstition and just start pulling nails of shit.
Dude, that's crazy. Do you see the pictures of them, the downtown location?
Yeah, they're fucking moving on that place.
Really?
They're just going. They post pictures of like custom welding happening, painting. Like they actually says like the outside has a sign now painted on it.
What are the cost?
They actually showed pictures of their tin ceiling in the place. It looks awesome. I'm super excited. I want to say it's down. I want to say it's down towards the Lolos. I want that way. I can't remember which street that is. I think it's over that way. More than anything. It's not like in the because the building they're in is kind of an older historic building, and I want to say it's over that way.
That's so badass. This should be like 10 minutes from me.
Yeah, it's gonna be. Yeah, you're super close to it, dude. Everything about that place looks awesome, and we definitely need to start bothering those guys to get back in there and talk to Jeff some more.
So it's 1110 East Washington Street.
I'm so excited the construction moved forward.
So that's 7th Street and Van Buren are like the big streets right there. It's basically right across the street from Chasefield.
Yeah.
Like two blocks down from Chasefield.
Just south of Chase, right?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So yeah, very cool. That'd be awesome to go see those guys.
Yeah, I'm so glad that the COVID didn't stop the construction on that.
Well, in some cases, it's speeding stuff up like that because a lot of construction project, big ones, have shut down and small contractors are like free for work. So I wonder if that happened with them. A bunch of their contractors were like, hey, we got a bunch of jobs that can't go on right now. You guys are open or allowed to do it. Because Arizona's been kind of willy-nilly with what's closed and what's not and what you can and can't do.
Let's one thing I want to talk about real quick, and then I want to talk about the our standout beers of the week.
All right.
You guys, since last time we talked, probably it's better.
Oh, I got one.
I bet it's from Red House.
But there's actually I saw an article talking about another kind of pick hitter, which is Alchemist Brewing. So talking about COVID and people distribution and stuff. The Alchemist has decided recently, evidently, to just start distributing in Colorado. So we'll see. Yeah, so Colorado's going to get Focal Banger, and they're going to get
Heady Topper.
Heady Topper. I was going to say Hoppy Topper.
Hoppy Topper.
Heady Topper, yeah.
I think we'll get a C&D if we make a beer called Hoppy Topper.
Yeah.
There probably already is one.
Dude, that's sick.
Like, that's going to be awesome. Maybe we'll get some down here easily. We'll see.
Yeah, I was going to say, you'd think at least we could make some trips.
Yeah.
Depends on how heavily they'll distribute to Colorado, I suppose.
Right. Fingers crossed. It's good.
A lot. Hopefully,
yeah.
Hopefully it's a shit.
I'm hoping that they'll see that, how good it is for them, and they'll keep doing it. We'll see.
Yeah.
Well, if they learn anything from Drecker, they'll ship that shit down here as much as they can.
Dude, love me some Drecker.
Apparently, all of Arizona does too.
Anybody that's on Instagram and or heard episodes of the Road Sodas here, they got for sure. So,
have you had any of their smoothie ones that they've done?
Not the chonk one. I've had the brains, a bunch of the brains,
which is what they've just been releasing, right? They've done 3 or 4 brains now.
Yeah, there's a couple brain ones, and I had it was a strawberry vanilla, or it was a strawberry lactose with vanilla, some brains or whatever, and it was one of those strawberry hard candies with cream. It was too much. It was too sweet. I wasn't a big fan of that one. But the last one I had with the blackberry cucumber one was awesome. So
who's doing that here? And I understand, I stayed off Facebook for so long, and it was awesome. But I've slowly started checking in more and more, and it just drives me insane. But that fucking Arizona beer enthusiast group is just a fucking disaster. It's
I left.
People post Drecker, and it's now I thought this was the Arizona beer enthusiast, not the Drecker enthusiast, and all that shit. It's who fucking cares? And that goes to my question: who's really doing those type of beers here, other than Ren House with the Las Frescas, the Shop with the Neonic? Is there anybody else doing those smoothie type of? Nobody's doing a line of them like that.
Yeah, I think
BRI has their
wax at it.
BRI. What's the one called at BRI called the Boombox?
Yeah,
they have the
exactly.
mango
Plenty are
boombox.
taking the whack at it, but no, you're right. Not everybody has a line like that.
I don't think other than those two, does anybody have a line other than one-offs?
Yeah,
Goldwater did those sours, but they weren't heavily fruited ones. Well, I guess the Go-Go Sour Rangers were pretty fruited.
Yeah,
but when they weren't heavily fruited.
Yeah, they weren't slushy smoothie thickness ones.
Yeah.
Like the Frescas.
It's funny, we doing that. I mean, talking to brewers and stuff, you ask them, and we talked about that forever. What should be in a beer? And a few people said heavily fruited sours. They were upset about them. That was one of those things where screw those beers. And so I think a lot of places just don't want to do them anyways. They just don't really want to deal with any of that. So what are your guys' standout beers? Ed, do you have one offhand?
How far back are we going?
I got one.
All right, Nate, you go first.
Oh shit! I just lost the name again. Actually, I'm sorry.
No.
Well, shit. Chris?
I do have it. It'll take me 2 seconds to get it. I'm sorry. It is called the Weekend Homework. Yeah, Weekend Homework from Ren House.
Oh, I think that came out right when I left. So I didn't get
July
that one.
18th. It was so good. It was incredible.
What style was that?
A West Coast India Pale Ale.
India Pale Ale. You sounded like a new IPA drinker. It's something called the West Coast India Pale Ale.
I know. I totally put that together like an idiot.
That shows how long it's been since you've had a West Coast IPA.
I was reading the can. It says India Pale Ale. But anyway, yeah, it was West Coast IPA, man, and it was so good. It was incredible. I almost messaged Luke. I was like, this beer is bringing a tear to my eye.
I'm sure you would have loved that.
So I would say my standout beer is that Pliny for President.
So my standout was actually, it's Tombstone and Tap and Bottles collab. It was called Passenger Side IPA. which actually was a double. It was a hazy double, 8.5. It was amazing, dude. I had that, and I had the other collab that they did with Ground Control, which it wasn't Hops My Co-Pilot, it's the other one.
Yeah, I was gonna say which one? Which one of their collabs?
Fly, I think is what it's called. I got both of those, and I was expecting it to be like flip flop, like the Captain Mile was gonna be okay, but the Hops My Co-Pilot like part 2 was gonna be just phenomenal, which it was good. But this passenger side IPA was definitely one of the ones where I was like, man, I should have bought another 4-pack of that. Like, it was that good. Like, I was super, super excited for it. So,
yeah,
kudos
I
to
felt
those
that way
guys.
about the Warrior. Yeah, it's always a bummer when you get something, you're like, I should have bought more of that. Shit.
Yeah.
I hate that.
What are you going to do? But yeah, it was just like, I mean, I don't even know. Like, I don't know how to explain it. It was just really good. Like, it was hazy, but it was all still pretty juicy too. So, I don't know. I was happy with it.
And where'd you find those at?
I got those from Arcadia Premium.
So
they actually do
you're
delivery.
single-handedly keeping them in business?
Dude, they deliver in my area. Heck yeah. Joel and those guys are awesome over there anyways. And I mean, they're going to deliver to me. Done. I mean, it's free delivery over like $50, I want to say. I definitely can order that at one time. That's not a problem.
Yeah. Especially if you go every couple weeks or something.
Right.
Easy. Well, that was a good roundup. I like that segment.
Yeah, I always love it. Well, gentlemen, let's wrap it up.
Well, it's always a pleasure, guys.
Nate, where can people find us? They want to go find more stuff about Hoppy Craftsmen?
You can find
They
Nate in
should
his
find us
study.
on Instagram. They should go on Instagram at Hoppy Craftsmen, and they can do it on the website at hoppycraftsman.beer.
Excellent. Edward, do you know who the most razz people in the world are?
I don't. That's your job.
Oh, that's me.
Yeah, I should have asked you that.
Oh, okay. Well,
so Chris, who are the most raddest
world?
people in the world, especially now with the economy in the situation that it is in?
We need them more than ever.
Yeah, heck yeah. So Zach Dominguez, Jessica Langley, Indie Beer Show, still hanging in there with us. Ed's beautiful wife, Sina Gomez, Rob Fulmer, Mark Ballesteros, and Anthony Bracamonte. So
thank you
those
to
are our
everybody.
people. Thanks, guys.
And
Sorry we
Chris,
haven't
didn't you
released
send
in a
them
while.
a mock-up of the glassware that you're working on?
I did. I sent them a mock-up of the glassware, a couple, like 2 different variations of it. So we'll see which one everybody likes, and then color-wise, and we'll go from there. So in the works for sure. But yeah, I mean, we actually have some episodes that we recorded that we haven't released that we're going to actually like put out for patron supporters only. So if you want to hear those things, come patron supporter.
I'm going to 3D print some shit for these guys.
Well, everybody stay safe.
Yes.
Can you print some
Until
3D
next time.
masks, Nate?
No.
Damn it.
All right, guys. I'm Nate.
I'm
Chris,
Eddie.
I can't talk now. I got to hear my mouth.
Thanks, guys.
Bye, guys.
Thanks for tuning in.